Yeah. Mm, 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 We in here. What up? Good morning, good afternoon, good morning. How y'all doing? How y'all living? Listen, we in here. We are in here. Welcome to another episode of One Big Brave. Hey, one big brave. Hey. Good morning. I want to thank everybody, of course, for joining in. Please comment below because this episode is about to be listen. This episode is about to be listen. This episode is about to be. That's all y'all need to know. That's all y'all need to know. Okay, so I definitely got to formally introduce myself. For those that don't know, my name is Dōmo Jones. I am the host of 1 Billion Brave. I do have a disability. I have a brain tumor. I am a disability confidence coach. I am an author. I got a few businesses on the side, but this not about me. Like, y'all know. So let's get into, let's get into the house rules. 1, no profanity on this show. That's not how we get down. 2, this show is about the disabled community, but it is also about bringing awareness, understanding, and confidence to those that are disabled and that aren't. Making sure that they're aware that, listen, whatever you're going through, it's all good because God is in control. And this is what makes your story even greater than the next. 3, we don't do no bashing of profanity. We don't do no bashing of, what? No, we don't do no bashing of gender, race, politics, or religion. From one blood, he made all the nations. So that's how we're going to rock. And the last thing, this show will be about Jesus Christ. You will definitely hear his name throughout the entire show because he is the entire everything. That's just what it is. Without him, we none of us are nothing. So he don't get all the accolades. Uh, that's how we rock. So I named this show Chapter 3 because the next guest is going to blow your mind. But before we get into that, I'm going to do my 5-minute moment. Let me tell y'all yesterday. It's not even yesterday. It was last night. Last night, y'all, I had an allergic reaction and it wasn't even my fault. So what happened was I'd ordered 2 chicken soft tacos with meat and cheese only. That's it. And for those that know me, when I eat tacos, I only eat the middle anyway. So as I was eating the middle, I took like a scoop. I had a spoon. I took a scoop and I bit it. And I was like, why is my throat closing? Why is my breath like getting short? That's very strange when it's only supposed to be meat and cheese. Why was there guacamole residue? I'm allergic to guacamole and avocados and all that jazz. Why was there some guacamole on some of the meat, on the shell, and it had touched? And I was like, no, we're not doing this today. No, we're not about to go to Casa tonight. They're not about to have me. No, they not about to have me. They're not. Not tonight. I got stuff to do. I got to be here in the morning. So I immediately took 2 Benadryl and I doused water bottles, because I needed that out of my system. Thank God I caught it in time. I'm super grateful that I caught it in time. But for those of you that have allergies or have any kind of anything, make sure you know your body, because if I wasn't aware of the symptoms that alert me from the allergic reaction, the throat closing, the shortness of breath, I wouldn't have caught it, and I would have had to have my EpiPen, and I would have had to go to emergency. And no, we're not doing that. So I'm super grateful that I'm alive. 1, 2, I'm super grateful that I was able to learn my body and I know the triggers. And 3, I didn't even eat. Okay, I was just so tapped out. I didn't even eat last night. I was like, I don't even want nothing about. No, I don't want to chew. I don't want to think about no food. Cause enough's enough. Enough's enough. No, I just went to bed. So I don't have it. Y'all, I'm telling you, my life is never a dull moment. I know we got guests on this show, but I go through it too. Please believe. The guests are the only ones that deal with stuff. I go through it too. So y'all know this show is real. It's as real as they come. All right. So again, I'm so glad that you guys are on this show. I'm so glad. What up, Eric J? I love you. What up, Grandma? I love you. So glad that you guys are on this show. Are y'all ready for my next guest though? Are y'all ready for my next guest? This girl, let me tell y'all real quick. So I've never met her in person, but her grandmother posted a video of her sitting on a kitchen counter with a 23 balloon sign above her, and she was just like going in, telling her story, telling about the overcoming of her story, of her situation. And I was like, yo, her personality is like in a major way. It's just like dope though, right? And so from that on, I reached out to her grandmother immediately. I said, yo, whatever we got to do, when, the where, the why, the how. I need her on this show right now because I need her to tell her story. I don't know all of it, so we all about to hear it together. Yo, welcome to the show, Braylon. What up, though? Come on in. Come on in. What up, though?
Hi.
Yo, I'm so glad. See, y'all see her smile? Like, her smile is like it. Her smile is like it. I love her. I love her. Braylon, thank you so much for being a guest on the show. I really appreciate it. For real. Like I said it backstage, but I'm gonna say it again. Because you didn't have to. Like, you didn't have to. So I definitely appreciate you taking your time away from your grandma real quick. We love you, Grandma, but away from your grandma real quick because we're on this show.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here.
All right, so let's get into it. Can you take us back to the journey of your initial diagnosis? Like, what happened? How did that even start?
Okay, so this is actually kind of funny, but like not really. But like I was at a party and I was like jamming out and I was dancing, and then I was like then I started feeling like I had a headache that day, and I was like,
Yeah.
So then I just took like some stuff, and I was like, I'll be fine. And then it just got worse and stuff, and then like I was like, oh my god, like my stomach was hurting super bad, and I was like, oh my goodness, like I just like. So then I went to my grandma because she was a nurse, and I was like I don't feel good. Like, can I go to the hospital? And I could barely like talk, and I passed out. And so then we got to the hospital, and they're like, so we don't. They like did all this stuff, and they're like, we don't know what's going on, but we're gonna transfer her to a different hospital. So then I went to Children's Hospital, and I was there for like a week, and basically I had to take a biopsy, but what they didn't realize was that I was like bleeding internally. So I lost like a lot of blood, so then I had to do like a lot of blood like transfusions, and then like finally they found out, and I didn't really know what was going on. They were just like, your daughter has cancer, like liver cancer, and I was just like, and they're like, yeah, she has like a mass like right here, and we don't know. And so then I was like, oh goodness, like I didn't really know how to feel. I was kind of sad, but I was just like,
Yeah,
whatever.
of course.
I was like, as long as God's here, like I'll be fine.
Okay.
But like, I was like, I didn't really know what to do. I was just like, okay. I was like, okay. And then finally, we were in that hospital for like 2 weeks, just trying to figure out everything. And then finally, one of the nurses was like, yeah, I know somebody from UCLA who does this kind of thing. And we were like, okay. So then they transferred me to UCLA. And that day, they were like, yeah, we're going to remove it. And I was like so happy. And they're like, we won't do like chemotherapy, because I was like, one thing is I love my hair. I love my hair,
Okay.
my eyelashes. And I was like, I'm trying to keep that. So they're like, we won't do chemotherapy. And they're like, we can do like immunotherapy. And I was like, okay. So then finally we did the surgery, and it turns out that it was like 16 or 15 centimeters. It was like a huge mass, and it was like on my liver, and it was like, yeah. So it turns out that it was my gallbladder got like, they had to take out my gallbladder. they had to cut half of my liver, and they took out like a lot of stuff. They took out, what was it? I can't even think about it right now. I really can't. But
It's okay.
basically,
That's okay.
some got like a little bit of cancer, and so that's how they figured it out. So basically, that's what happened. But the surgery was a success.
Thank God.
And so I was happy, and then I started doing immunotherapy for like not even like a whole year. Like I did immunotherapy, and then I had my scans like in like I had my scans, and I had no cancer. It was gone, and I was
Let's
like,
go.
that was probably like the best day of my life because I was like, I just
Okay.
can't keep doing this anymore. But also, it really sucked because in the middle, I kept going back to the hospital because I was just in my bed and I just kept throwing up. Like we didn't really see the signs and anything like that. And then they took me to the hospital. Like I was at my Gigi's house because I thought I just had like a little fever or something.
Yeah.
And then I woke up in the hospital 2 days later. And it turns out that I had diabetes and my sugar got to like a 900 and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so nobody even knew. We didn't know anything. And it was like, because it was from the immunotherapy, and they've never had that. It was only for like adults. So like I was like the first person to have that. And like I was like, oh my goodness. And so literally I was like so shocked because I didn't really know. And my mom was like, yeah, you're just like out of it. And I was like, it's funny. I don't like to laugh at this because she's like, I had to drag you down the stairs. I had to like throw you in the car. She's like, I just thought you were like asleep. I was like, really? Like you didn't try to wake me up? Like,
Right. Like
you just thought I was just asleep. Just like I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But you know what? And so then she's like, I had to like call the ambulance, and we were like at McDonald's, and I was like, bro, like let me call the ambulance. And so she did, and I was like, okay. So then I woke up in the hospital, and I was like, holy crap, like how did I get here? And so then I was like, oh my goodness. I was like shocked. I was like,
yeah, of course.
So then out of nowhere, they were just like, yeah, you have diabetes. I was like, I was like, thank you. Thanks.
Right.
You could have said that any better, but thank you. You're like, yeah, you have diabetes.
Doesn't help at all, but thanks though.
I was like, yeah, thanks, okay. And they're like, yeah, so we'll like help you. And I was like, I hope so. And so basically they explained that. It was hard for me because I was like getting used to it and all that stuff. I was just like not expecting it. I feel like when people think about diabetes, it's like you feel like you have to be like obese and you have to eat all this candy and stuff like that. But I feel like now that I get to know about it, I'm really understanding everything. Right. And it's like, I'm like, okay, like it's not bad. It's like it was a struggle at first because I like to eat a lot of food. I like to snack. I'm a snacker. I'll be reading books. I don't even know that I'm eating something. I'll be like, oh, okay. And then I'll be like, oh, wait, how did I even get this? Like, that's literally how it is. And so I was like, they're like, yeah, so you have to have this diet, this. And I was like, okay.
Let me process this real quick.
I was like, what diet? They're like, okay. And then they're like, so you need to take insulin right now. And I was like, oh. So yeah, I was in the hospital for like a week. And that was like, and then I was like, oh my goodness. Like it was so out of the blue because my sugars were never able like to stable. Mm-hmm. So it'd be like one day it'll be like 400 and then another day it'll be like 1 something. And then finally we thought it was like getting stable and then it just dropped. It just kept dropping that whole week. It was just low. And I was like, oh my goodness, like what's happening? Wow. But then everything has been kind of getting better and I've been learning a lot of stuff about like the diabetes community and stuff like that. And I think it's like something that I'm glad I got to learn about. Even though I love to eat everything, I'm like, you know what? Like this might be for the best. Like I feel like I'm like, you know what? God was able to take my cancer, so I'll be happy if I just have to deal with this. Like, I'd rather deal with this than take everything else.
Oh, right.
So I'm just like, you know what? I'm so happy about it. And then I was just like, you know. But there has been a lot of problems. I would, like, forget to, like, give my insulin, like with, like, everything going on. And I'm just like, oh, goodness. But basically, that's what happened. And then finally I was done with, the immunotherapies and all that stuff. And
how many treatments did you do?
I want to say like 30, probably like 30 treatments. Like either like 30 because I was there for like a couple of months and it was like every other Monday. and
Wow.
it was a lot of stuff. I hated waking up early though. I was
just about to say, did you have to wake up early and sleep all day?
Yes, even on summer break. I was like, oh my goodness.
Okay.
I was like, let me go to sleep, please. I'll be like, my mom would be like, it's time for us to go. I'll be like, where?
Right.
Like, you gotta go to the hospital. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I used to hate having to go to the hospital because I'll be like, it smells like poop in here. And I had with the whole entire hospital situation when I was in the hospital, it was very hard because I was out of it most of the time.
Yeah.
And so I was like a lot of drugs.
Right.
And like
drugged up.
I would see a lot of stuff that I wish I didn't see. Like I would and my grandma and my mom likes to make fun of me because like when you have a surgery or like anything like biopsies, you can't drink water or food for 24 hours.
Right.
And so my mom thought I was like not there because like I had my tongue out and like I was like standing still on the bed and she was like, Breland? And I didn't answer. So then she called the nurse and they came in and I was like, I want water. And she was like, wait, I thought you were, she was like, are you good? I was like, I want water.
That's it.
She's like, I can give you a cap. I was like, I don't want a cap. She's like, you can like dip your tongue. I was like, I want a bottle. I want a whole bottle of water. I want water. I don't want a cap.
Right.
Like, oh my goodness. And my mom used to make fun of me. She'd be like, oh my God, water girl and all this stuff. And I was like, how would you feel if you can have water for 24 hours?
Exactly.
I was like, and I would do this like all the time. And I'll be like, oh my goodness. And then finally I started getting used to it. But I had to I was probably like a mean patient. My mom said I was mean. And I had to apologize after because I'm like, really? I promise you I'm not mean. But I just feel like
you're just frustrated.
I was a person. I was in pain. I'm sorry. My mom was like, yeah, you were angry. And like, she's like, my mom's a nurse. And I remember this conversation because she made me angry. She was like, you didn't. She's like, and I was like, you don't understand what I'm going through. I was like, you're a horrible nurse. Leave.
But let me tell you, like, they really don't understand that pain. I've never had cancer. I've had a brain tumor, but I've had chemotherapy. I know what that exhaustion feels like. I know what it's like to just like, I just want to be left alone. And you keep talking to me. You keep asking me questions. I don't want to answer nothing. I don't even want to see you low key, but you're my mom or you're my grandma.
Can you go?
Right. So I got to respect you, but I'm sick. Just leave me alone.
Exactly. And then my grandma, she came one day and she was in the hospital and she was playing gospel music and it was like all the way at the top, like the highest level you can get. And I was very irritable and I was just like, can you turn it off? And then she looks at me, she's like, and then she like doesn't turn it off. She turns it down and she starts praying. She's like, Lord, please. I'm like, and I'm like, I don't have a demon. Like, I'm fine. Just turn it down. Like, please.
That's it. Oh, guys, that is so funny. Okay, so for people that don't know, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 14.
Y'all, let me tell you, she is like 14, like a little bit. Okay, so tell us, like, before you had your diagnosis, before you had all the complications, what were you into? Like, I know you were in school, but like, what did you do? What was you into? Because you was in everything.
Oh my God. Okay. So basically I like cheer. I did cheer and then I did soccer and then I did music. I love music. I love music a lot. But I was doing that. And like in school, I feel like in school, I was just like the cool nerd. You could say that. Because like, I knew everybody, but I was still a nerd. Like I was like in my books, pushing out my glasses, like all that good stuff. And then I would be like in my books, and then I would be like, "Oh, you want to come to recess with us?" And I'd be like, "Oh yeah, for sure." And then that's what I would do. And then I'd be like, "I'm gonna go back to my classroom now."
Yeah. All right, bye, y'all. That's enough.
Literally, people would just walk up to me and be like, "Oh, what's up, Breland?" And I'd be like, "Who are you?" Like I didn't know who they were, but I was still like, "Oh, nice." I was like, "Nice to meet you." And I was like, "I'm sorry, but I didn't get your name." Like, right. And I was like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, I loved, my uncle actually introduced me to anime like in 2016. And so like ever since I've been like crazy, like anime geek. And I've been like into it like really bad. Like my mom's like, what are you watching? I'm like, what do you think I'm watching? Just like anime. So yeah, literally all my family knows I love anime.
Anime.
Like when we go to like the library, I'm like looking at like the mangas and like, where are they?
That's the word. Because I was about to like, what was it? Ganga, Anga, Danga,
Ganga.
She said that word backstage, and I was like, "What? Who's that?" She's like, "No, it's Ganga manga, Danga."
Ganga manga. I was like, yes, I love manga. But yeah, I did cheer. I love cheer. I feel like that really like helped me like express myself.
What was your position? What was your position?
I was a flyer.
Flyer.
Yeah, but actually, I've actually never got dropped, which I was so glad about that. I had a good squad, and I was really happy. Yeah, we did a lot of stuff. And my brother played football, so I was actually like the cheerleaders for his team.
Come on, representation.
And I loved it so much. I loved cheer. It was so fun. I got to make a lot of friends, and I loved it so much because it was like I got to like have fun, and I love roller coasters. So I was just like, you know what, flying is not any different.
Okay, now can you do roller coasters now though?
Oh yes, I love roller coasters. Literally, we went to like Circus like probably like 2 months ago, and I didn't go on roller coasters for like that whole year, so I was like so excited to finally get on it, and I was like, I feel like we went on every single ride 3 times. I was so happy. I was like, you know what, we're gonna get on that roller coaster, that one.
Yeah,
like, we just went on that one. I was like, I get.
Right.
I loved it so much.
To live it out. Just give me my moment.
Live your life. Roller coasters. I love roller coasters. I was just like, you know what?
I love that.
But before I get on, I'm like, Lord, please keep us safe on this ride. Like, don't stop it. It Make sure it goes all the way to the end.
Right. Okay, so question. Now that you've been through the cancer, you've been through the treatments, and now you're dealing with like the diabetes and maintaining that. What is something that you felt like you learned from just those experiences that you probably wouldn't have caught living your life as a flyer?
I feel like I wish that I how do I say this? I don't know how to say this. I wish like I just was like really just trying to live my life the best way that I could, because and everybody says this, you don't know what's gonna happen the next day or when you wake up or if you don't wake up, and so I wish I just like lived my life the way I could and just have fun with it instead of being like so like I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do that, and I just wish I just got to spend time with people the way I want to. And then finally I had a good friend, and like we're not friends anymore. And it was a lot because I felt like she was a great friend. She was a good friend, but we just had a lot of things that were just like clicking at the time. And so I was just like, we basically were like, yeah, like right now we shouldn't be friends. But through that whole time, I felt like I wish I could have like listened to people's feelings more instead of like pushing me to the side because of the stuff that I was going through. I wish I could have did that because I feel like everybody deserves to be listened to.
Yeah.
And so, especially if I want people to listen to me, I should listen to them. That's how I felt. Right. And then I feel like I wish that I just looked at the signs more and just like realized like, yeah, because they said that my cancer has been developing for years to get that big, and so I was like, oh my goodness.
Wait,
like,
you didn't say that?
I was like, I've been to the doctor's office. You guys just didn't think to.
Right. Y'all didn't want to alert me or anything?
You didn't want to let me know. Yeah, I was like,
But it was a good thing that, the symptoms that you did kind of feel, you said it. Because I'm glad you caught it when you did. Because obviously them doctors won't help you.
On it. They weren't doing their job.
They weren't doing their job.
And so, yeah, I was so happy because I was like, you know what? That whole time, I was like low-key like sad already because I had a lot of stuff going on before that. And so when all this happened, I was just like low-key just like, okay, well, maybe this is for a reason. Maybe this is like somebody's trying to bring us together, or maybe I just need to take a break, or maybe this is bringing my family closer, or who knows. And so I was just like, maybe this is for me to help people who have the same situation or something.
Very true.
But it was hard because I would be like in those type of moods where I was just like, what am I even doing with my life? Like, why does it have to happen to me?
Yeah.
What is going on in those type of moments? But then I just had to sit down and be like, hey, it happened for a reason. It's going to be okay. You'll be fine. I know sometimes you get angry because you're like, dang, like, why? But I just had to be like, okay, it's fine. It's fine.
No, it's
and I
very
just
true.
like, okay, I got this. I literally got this.
Man, you're just so smart for your age. It's just like amazing. I'm just like, I'm gravitating it for me. And I mean, I've been through a lot, but I just feel like your personality, and you have so much wisdom at your age, first of all, but your personality is just like mind blowing, and it's very contagious. Keep that. Like, don't change that personality for real, like for nobody, because what you've been through is what made you even a greater person than you are. And your attitude, it reminds people like, I ain't really been through nothing. What am I complaining for? I ain't really dealt with nothing. Like, what? I mean, I've done chemotherapy, so I know what that looks like. I know what that feels like, but I didn't do it at your age.
Yeah,
I didn't do it at your age.
struggle. It's definitely a struggle because I feel like everybody at this age is like doing a lot of stuff. Like, and so I like follow everybody, like all my friends, and I'm like, dang, like I miss a lot of stuff, and I was like kind of sad because I'm like I can't even do this. But then I was like, you know what? Maybe there's gonna be something better. Like
Always.
maybe there's something better, and right now that's probably like for them. But maybe I'll have something better. So
you about to go see Oprah? Like you about to be on TV?
Exactly. Like I'll probably have something better. So
forget all this little stuff.
How I
like,
felt. I was just
you're
like,
going to higher heights.
Exactly. And so yeah, a lot of people thought I wasn't alive. Because I wasn't like on my social medias for like a couple of months, and I literally opened my phone because I wasn't on my phone at all because I just was out of it. I had like 200 plus messages, and I was like, I can't go through all of this. And so basically, I had to like post it on Instagram, and I was like, yeah, like this is happening, and a lot of people were like, oh my god. This, and a lot of people didn't understand. And I was like, I don't expect you guys to understand. So I'm like, yeah, so basically that's what's happened. And I've just been like trying to go with it as like, I'm just like, you know what, do my best. Because that's literally all you can do is your best. Like nobody's perfect. But it's like, you know what, I'm going to do my best.
It's definitely a day by day thing because even now, although you don't have cancer anymore, you still have those waves.
Yes.
You still have those high lows. Like, you could have all the energy in the world, and then you could have like those days where I don't even feel like getting out the bed. Just let me rest. Let me have my rest day. Then you got them out. I'm up, but I just want to watch TV.
Okay, that's actually super funny because my auntie and my uncle, I'm like, so basically like us kids these days, like our generation, we say outward and invert instead of like the whole entire word. It's just outward and invert.
Good to know.
Yeah, like literally, and they're like, that's not how you say it. I was like, that's how we say it. And so that's what we do basically. And I was like, I think I'm both. Like when it's for me to hang out, I'll hang out, have the best time. But then after, I just want to be in my room, and I just want to be like quiet. And I love sleep. I love taking naps. I love to just lay down and like lock my door and maybe play some jazz music. I love jazz music. I love music.
We friends, okay?
I'll like some Christmas jazz or like something like that because I love jazz music, and then maybe I'll read a book or I'll go to sleep. I do literally everything. So that's like literally what keeps me sane is taking naps and reading books.
Yeah, no, like for real, and it's like all jokes aside, really that's what keeps us going are those quiet moments where just sleep in peace. Just let us be us. We don't want to talk. Ain't nothing wrong with us, but we don't want to talk right now. We don't want to be bothered. We friends, okay? We friends.
And with my family, like, so my grandma's the complete opposite. So she'll be like, is something wrong with you? Like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. I promise you I'm fine. I just want to lay down. She's like, are you sure? Do you need to go to the hospital? Or
that's fine.
She's like, do you need this? Do you need that? And I'm like, I love you, but I just need to go in my room. She's like, you need to talk more. Are you sure you're okay? I was like, no, I just need to go lay down.
Y'all hear that? Take these notes. Take these notes, mamas and grandmothers. We're totally
Yes,
fine. We just need our peace. That's it.
exactly. Just
We need our
naps.
peace.
Naps are great because then
Right.
after your naps, you're like, okay, I'm feeling better. Let's talk. And I'm communication is always key. I love to communicate,
Yes.
even though I'll be like a little angry or sometimes because I used to just shut down and just like ignore you. And I'm like, you know what? I can't do that because they if they care, they're gonna ask you how you
Yeah, of
feel.
course, of course.
And if you want them to understand, you have to tell them. So it's like, okay, like, this is how I feel, and this is why, and this is exactly why, and this is why I want to like just be by myself. And
Yeah.
I've always been like that. I'm very responsible, you can say. I'm very independent. Very
I can
independent.
tell. I mean,
Because it's like I just feel like I've had to be that way. And there's nothing against being independent. So I'm just like, you know what? Like I've always been doing stuff like by myself and I'm fine with that because I don't really like when people are next to me or like trying to do stuff. I'm like, no, I got it. Like even with like my diabetes and stuff, everybody's like, we're gonna help you, like this is what you have to do. And I'm like, thank you.
I'm good.
I'm good. They're like,
did.
well, did you check it out this time? I was like, I checked it like an hour later, but I'm fine. I'm chilling. My uncle was like,
This girl.
my uncle was like, so did you check your sugar at 10:30? I was like, did you see the time? He's like, yeah, it was 12:30. I was like, exactly. 12:30, not 10:30. And so then he was like, Breland, I told you to check your sugar at 10:30. I was like, but I ate already, so I have to wait at 12:30. And he was like,
Right.
and then he was like, I'm going to work. So he
People don't be knowing, like we know what we doing. We live this life every day.
Exactly.
We live this life every day. You can't tell us more than here. I need everyone to take this. You can't tell us more about us than we know about ourselves.
That's what my aunt told me all the time. She's like, nobody can tell you about your body. Only you can tell them about it. And I was like, exactly. So even with like little things, I'm always just like, yeah, this is out of the normal because I feel like when you go through all of this, you really just pay attention more to things.
Yeah, of course.
And people. Because I've always been that friend where it's like, I'm always going to be there for you and I'll always help you. And then with like my friends, I feel like it was a group of us. There was 2 boys, 3 girls, and we had a lot of fun. But I felt like I only talk to one of them now because we all just had different things going on. And I was just like, you know what, like, and with my best friend, who was my best friend in that group, we don't even talk anymore because there was just a lot of stuff happening. And her dad was diagnosed with cancer too.
Oh, wow.
And so then he doesn't have cancer anymore. But it was just a lot happening. And I was just like, we have a lot of things going on. And right now, we just shouldn't be friends.
Yeah, it's just different seasons.
Different seasons of stuff. And then with the guys, it was just weird. Like, I just stopped talking to them. I was like, you guys are kind of annoying. I was like, I'm getting bored right now, so time to move on.
Right. It's the crazy thing is when you deal with like real life stuff, like at this point you dealt with stuff that is life or death, right?
Yes.
So when you deal with real life stuff, your perspective and your mindset changes. So the conversation that you used to have with the people, it's like, what you talking about? Like, you're not really
is this
about
really
that.
a big deal? Like, is
what?
Stephanie really trying to take your boyfriend? Is that such a big deal right now? Like,
Okay.
I'm like, your dad over here has stuff going on. You're over here worried about all this stuff. Like, I get it. Live your life. But still, yeah, definitely. I've definitely had those times where it's like, we don't know if she's going to make it or stuff like that. And I've never been scared of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know what? Like, what is there to be scared of?
Right. You know,
that's literally how I feel. People are like, well, I'm scared of death and all that stuff. And it's like, it's not that I'm like, I want to die or something like that. Like, that's a lot. But I'm just like, you know what? I'm not scared because it's like, hey, God's got this. And like, he's going to let it happen the way he wants it. And I feel like it's like, so it's like, you can't be like, yeah, I'm going to be here tomorrow and the next week. You can't really do that.
Right.
And
right.
so it's just like, live your day the way you want to. And at least have that day because it's like, you don't even know. You don't know. And that's how I felt. I was glad I went to a party before I went to the hospital. Like, I was so glad. Maybe God was like, I'm going to let you have some fun and then later.
Right. Because I was about to shut down for a little bit. Right.
I want you to drink some juice and do all this stuff. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, and especially with like coronavirus and stuff like that happening too.
Right.
So it was a lot. And I didn't even know, but I had cancer when that was happening too. And I had it like the worst out of my whole family because I had coronavirus for like last year, June.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy experience because we didn't know I had it because I went to the hospital because I felt I was really petite, and so they gave me like fluids and they tested me, and then I went back home and they're like, yeah, she's positive for like coronavirus, and that's how I found out. My mom did it, and then my little brother. So like, it turned out that we all had it, and then basically it wasn't just us. My whole entire grandma's side on my dad's side had it too, all of them, except my older brother, great immune system, but he didn't have it, so he left, and so I was just like, oh my goodness, like. It was a lot. I was like, why do I have every symptom? Like, why do I have every single one? And so literally the next month, that's when I got diagnosed with cancer.
Wow.
And so I was like, I just got to this party.
Right. You were getting hit left and right.
I know. I was like, next truck, this train. Like, I was like, stop. Literally. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, what's happening right now?
Right.
And so it was a crazy experience, but I feel like I've learned a lot of things. And I think I became a little bit more wiser and just more responsible. And just, I feel like I've been really, I have my moments where I'll like throw a fit sometimes. I'm like,
of course.
I don't want to do this. And I'll like cry on the floor like a baby. Or I'll just lay on the floor. Literally, like yesterday, I opened an ice cream and I totally, like, I forget that I have diabetes sometimes. I'll just open an ice cream and start eating it. And my uncle's like, why are you eating that ice cream? He's like, why can't I not eat the ice cream?
Right.
Diabetes. And I was like,
you're right. I forgot about that.
So right. And he's like, how many carbs is that? I was like, 31. He's like, what? It's like 31. He's like, Breland, go put that back. I was so sad because I really wanted ice cream that day. I wanted it. I wanted it so bad. And so then I just like dropped on the floor and I was like face planted on the floor. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, why? I was like, let me just get this ice cream.
Right.
And so I'll just have those type of moments where it's just like,
So it's definitely those frustrating moments. I totally get that. Braylon, I for sure want to thank you so much again for your personality is, I love it. It's just like so amazing. You just remind me of myself when I was your age. But I appreciate you again for telling your story, sharing with the world, like letting people know what it looks like to go through, but also what it looks like to come out of. And even if you're still dealing with it, your personality, your positivity, your mindset is so positive. It just makes people forget their problems. And that's beautiful. I'm just like, yo, I need you on the show again and talk about something else. I don't even know what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about something else. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna make sure that you're at your grandma's house.
Oh yeah.
So we can talk again. But again, I really appreciate you being a guest on the show. I hope y'all seen. You saw in the comments. Listen, you got fans. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hi. You got fans. So before you go backstage, you already know I have a new segment called Before You Go. So I'm gonna ask Braylon a random question. Are you ready for it?
Oh my god, yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so because you're into manga, anime, if you had to become one anime character, what would it be? Or who would it be?
Oh, that's like so hard.
Just one.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
Got you thinking.
Oh my god, you do. Like there's like so many anime characters that I wish I was.
I know.
And there's like so many animes that I've watched. I want to be like Naruto or like, okay, I think I'm going to go with I think Naruto. I'm going to go with Naruto. And I'm going to be Itachi. That's what
Itachi. Don't know who any of that is. Don't even know
what they are. It's okay. It's definitely okay.
Naruto.
It's an old anime.
And Naruto and Atari. Got it. Got it. Naruto and Kalashi. Got it. Got it. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yo, thank you again so much. You got my heart. I love you forever, always. Like, for real. Um,
Ew.
and thank you to your grandmother, Mrs. Harding. Thank you so much for you returning my message and telling her to that I want her to be a guest. I definitely appreciate that. You the plug. I appreciate you, man, so much. You the greatest grandma. Thank you again so much. Braylon, we're gonna put you on the backstage real quick and I'm gonna end it. Thank you again. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Yo, I told y'all. I told y'all. I told y'all this guest is gonna be bananas, bro. I love her. Like, man, she just gives me so much inspiration. She reminds me of those memories when I started my whole situation with medical complication at 14. She's 14. Like, I know what that life looks like. And she's so powerful and she's just so positive and amazing. I hope you guys took notes. I hope you guys heard her story and um I hope that actually targets you and pushes you and presses you to even not complain about what you've been through because this little woman is 14 and her personality, she like, listen, yeah, I've been through it. All right, let's go. That's all that matters. God got us, and that's it. That's all. Okay, are y'all ready for the word value? Uh uh uh. Word value. Uh uh. Today's word value is. Wait, what's the word value, Gabe? I forgot. Okay, today's word. Y'all seeing the behind the scenes. Today's word value is strength has a new meaning when you have to fight every day for it. Woo! Woo! Now, if Braylon didn't show you that, I don't know what you know what strength it looks like then. I don't even know what you know strength looks like then. Thank you guys again so much for being a guest for being not a guest. I mean, well, you guys are. Some of y'all are, I guess. But thank you again so much for joining in, tuning in, commenting. Even the ones that weren't able to comment but listened and watched it. I definitely appreciate it so much. I don't take it lightly. I want to also thank First Lady Bailey for letting me have this platform. I never take anything for granted. I love all y'all. Make sure you guys tune in next week because we got another guest and that's gonna be dope. Like, we in here. We're in here. Oprah is about to see us and I'll be like, yo, shout out to the people that knew me when I was in my room in a corner. You see that corner? In the corner. In the corner. Trying to have a backdrop. Okay. I love y'all. Next week, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, we will be live again with a new guest talking about new subjects, going in for Jesus Christ because that's what we do. Please follow me on social media, Facebook, One Being Brave to keep up with everything that we do, who the next guest is, all that jazz. Also on IG, Coach Dōmo Joe. Keep up with a sister. I love y'all so much. Thank you guys again. I love y'all forever. Holla at me. We out. Gabe, get me out of here. Get me out of here. One being brave.